Hello everyone, myself Miss Swati. Today we are going to see about analog circuit, that is linear application of op-amp. There are 6 or 7 linear applications of op-amp involved in your syllabus. Out of that, one by one we are going to study. Related to this, today we are going to see about integrator. Now let us see about that. Operational amplifier as an integrator. Then what is the meaning of integrator? Integrator means summation or addition of all these things whatever coming into picture related to that circuit, and integration always shows us that there is some extra addition or additional factors are involved in any kind of a summation like equation. Then what is the in general definition related to that integrator related to op-amp? Just see, another major application of op-amp is its use in a mathematical application. That means op-amp, that means operational amplifier. That means op-amp is used to perform mathematical operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, integration, differentiation, like this. Many more applications are involved in op-amp. Apart from that, division operation is not performed in that op-amp. For that purpose, out of these mathematical operations, integrator came into linear application of the op-amp. And operational amplifier can be configured to perform the mathematical operations of integration and differentiation. In this tutorial, we will learn and analyze the working of an operational amplifier as an integrator. For this, along with that introduction, operational amplifier can be configured to perform calculus operations such as the differentiation and integration. Just I have told you. In an integrating circuit, the output in the integration of the input voltage with respect to time. That means integration, whatever we are going to take, that integration is related to with respect to time. That is from zero timing to up to which we are going to take integration. Up to that point, that the circuit will be goes on in extension stage. A passive integrator is a circuit which does not use any active devices like op-amp or transistor. That means electronics components are divided into two categorization, that is a passive and active. Apart from that, the op-amp and transistor are divided into active devices, and integrator is a circuit which does not use any active devices like op-amp or transistor. That means integrator is formed by using passive devices. Again, continuation with this, an integrator circuit which consists of active devices is called as active integrator, and active integrator provides a much lower output resistance and higher output voltage. Then it is possible a simple RC circuit. That means integrator is used to perform that RC circuit, and op-amp, differentiating and integrating circuit are inverting amplifiers with appropriately placed capacitor. That means for the op-amp integration and differentiation purpose, main role played by that passive device is a capacitor. That means place of that capacitor in any kind of a circuit will decide that circuit is related to either integrator or differentiator. Integrator circuits are usually designed to produce a triangular wave output from a square wave input. That means for the integrator, special purpose integrator application, we are giving input as a triangular wave and output is a square wave. Integrator circuit have the frequency limitations while operating on a sine wave input signal. That means many more inputs are given to that integrator circuit along with the triangular wave shape, sine wave or other kinds of wave, but for the frequency limitation is totally related to only one type of a integration, that is a sine wave. For the sine wave, there is frequency limitation is introduced. Along with this, the triangular wave as an input, and it will be produces as a square wave as a output. Then along with this is the ideal op-amp integrator circuit. Just see here that ideal op-amp integrator circuit is related to input is given to this ideal op-amp integrator along with the inverting terminal of the op amp, and non-inverting terminal is connected towards the ground by using the resistor R1. Here node X is formed and here node Y is formed. CF is a feedback capacitor connected across that output along with the inverting terminal of the op amp, and that capacitor will totally decide that circuit is related to integrator. In every type of a circuit, for the feedback purpose we are going to connecting that resistor, but for integration purpose here we are connected that is a capacitor, that is a feedback capacitor. Then how that output is generated, that is the input is we are here applying that is a triangular wave, and output we are getting whatever type of a wave. Just see by step by step. The negative feedback to the inverting input terminal ensures that the X node is held at a ground potential, that is a virtual ground, and according to that virtual ground concept, whatever the input applied to that system, that is virtual ground output voltage is a 0. If the input voltage is a 0 volt, there will be no current through the input resistance R1. That means if supplied voltage is a 0 came into picture, then what about that current? Then current is also 0, because there is a correlation in between voltage, resistance and current. That is V is equal to IR, and the capacitor is unchanged, because capacitor is used to store the charges only, and capacitor charging period and discharging period will decide what is the shape will be introduced related to waveform from that integrator. Along with this, hence the output voltage is ideally 0. That means ideally output voltage is 0 related to op amp integrator, but practically it is not possible, because we are applying some amount of a current or voltages to particular circuit, and it will be introduced some little bit amount of that some sort of that voltage from that op amp. Then just see here, if a constant positive voltage, that is a DC voltage, is applied to the input of integrator amplifier, the output voltage will fall negative at a linear rate in an attempt to keep the inverting input terminal at a ground potential. Along with that, ground potential is connected directly by using that minus VEE towards that ground. Along with this, answerably, a constant negative voltage at an input results in a linear rising, that is a capacitor rising means of charging period, that is a positive period voltage at the output. The rate of change of output voltage is proportional to the value of applied input voltage. That means rate of change of input is totally dependent upon that rate of change of output. It is the output vary in proportionality with input depending upon time. That means integration takes place totally dependent upon time factor. Along with this, the output voltage calculation, how that output voltage is introduced by that integrator circuit. Just see from the circuit, it is seen that the node Y is grounded through a compensating resistor R1. That means R1 is connected to the positive terminal of the op amp, and it will be directly connected towards the grounding. That is, node X will be at ground potential due to the virtual ground concept. That means node X is related to virtual ground concept, and node Y is connected towards that ground. By using this funda, what happened from the circuit, it is seen that node Y is grounded through a compensating resistor R1, and node X will also be at a ground potential due to the virtual ground. Then about output calculation, voltage calculation. Along with this, what we see, that is a input voltage at a node X and input voltage at a node Y. Both these are related to that. One is related to virtual ground concept, and one is directly connected towards that ground. For that purpose, whatever the input voltage applied to this particular circuit is equal to 0. Since the input current to the op amp is ideally 0, voltage applied is 0 came into picture. According to this funda, what about the current? Current is also 0. The current flowing through the input resistance due to the V also flows through the capacitor CF. CF capacitor is related to feedback capacitor. From the input side, the current I is given as, how we are going to calculate that current? Current I is equal to voltage divided by resistance. Then that voltage divided by resistance, what is that voltage? The C1 minute. current I is equal to formula related to V divided by R. Then V is nothing but the voltage difference, that is both the input voltages. That means voltage difference VD divided by R1, and VD is nothing but difference voltage, and difference voltage we are going to calculating by using the formula non-inverting input terminal voltage minus inverting input terminal voltage is equal to Vin divided by R1, because here what that equation number 1 says is that Vx is equal to Vy is equal to 0. By putting that 0 value here, this equation is converted as Vin divided by R1. From the output side, the current I is given as, then current formula related to that equation is I is equal to Cf d by dt of that voltage. That means here we are taking that differentiation of that voltage. Then what is that differentiation voltage? We know very well that Vx is equal to 0 from this equation. By putting that 0 value here, what we get, Cf d divided by V out divided by dt, and that minus sign came into picture because here the input signal is applied basically related to integrator for the inverting terminal of the op-amp. For that purpose here negative sign came into picture. Then next is equating the above equation, two equations of I, we get Vin divided by R1 is equal to minus Cf dV out divided by dt. That means differentiation of output voltage. Then integrating both the sides of the above equation, what we get, just for the removing purpose of that differentiation, anti-operation related to differentiation is the integrator, and anti-operation related to integrator is the differentiation, vice versa. For that purpose, our aim or our target is to study about that integration equation. For that purpose, we are going to take integration from both the sides, and what we get, just see here, integration from time limit 0 time will be started up to maximum time limit. Whatever our circuit goes on up to that time limit t, that Vin divided by R1, that means input voltage divided by R1 dt, that is a current is a differentiated up along with that time, is equal to minus Cf. Cf is a constant factor, that is a feedback capacitor value. It is a separate out. Again that output voltage is a differentiated, integrated from 0 time limit to t time limit. And what we get here, integration 0 to t Vin divided by R1 dt is equal to minus Cf V out d by dt of V out dt, dt gets cancelled, and what is the remaining V out. Therefore V out we kept from one side, and remaining quantities we are taking for another side, because our aim to calculate that output voltage. V out is equal to minus 1 divided by R1 Cf integration from 0 to t V in dt. This is the final equation related to integrator. Then along with this, what that above equation shows, just see here, the above equation, the output is minus 1 divided by R1 Cf, that is a time constant, the integral of a input voltage, where the term R1 Cf is known as the time constant of integrator. The negative sign indicates, here that negative sign came into picture. What that indicates? Because just remember one thing, our previous diagram related to that integrator, where we are applied that input voltage, we are applied that input voltage to negative terminal of the op-amp. For that purpose here negative sign came into picture, because that terminal is related to inverting, and output, whatever output is introduced by using this terminal as an input, that output is a totally 180 degree out of phase. The negative sign indicate that is a phase shift of 180 degree between the input and output, because the input is proved to be inverting input terminal of the op-amp. The main advantage of an active integrator is the large time constant, which results in the accurate integration of input signal. That means whatever the input or whatever the integrated output will be introduces, that integrated output will be in a reverse conditions. Then next is related to integrator amplifier as a ramp generator. That means how we are generating that ramp by using that integrator amplifier. Just see here, if the step input of the integrating amplifier is replaced by a continuous time square wave, that means whatever the input is applied to the integrator, that input is instead of step input, we are going to replacing that step into by a square wave. Then changes are done. The changes in the input signal amplitude, charges and discharges the feedback capacitor. This results in a triangular wave output with a frequency that is dependent upon the value of R1CF, which is referred to as the time constant of the circuit. Such as circuit is commonly called as a ramp generator. That means whenever we are replacing that integrator by that step input by that continuous step input by that continuous time square wave, then we are getting that ramp signal. During the positive half cycle of the square wave input, a constant current I flow through the input resistance R1. That means during positive half cycle, constant current will be flowed. Since the current flowing through the op-amp internal circuitry is zero, effectively all the currents flows through the feedback capacitor CF. This current charges the capacitor. That means the current will be charges the capacitor, and whatever the output shown here, you see here, integrator amplifier as a ramp generator continuation. Since the capacitor connected to the virtual ground, the voltage across the capacitor is the output voltage of the op-amp. That means whatever the voltage is we getting across that capacitor, that voltage is nothing but output voltage of that op-amp. That is a virtual, according to that virtual ground concepts, what we get, that virtual ground concept output voltage is equal to 0. Just we have seen, that is a Vx is equal to Vy is equal to 0. During the negative half cycle of the square wave input, the current I is a reversal. That means that a positive half cycle, that is the increasing curve, but for the negative half cycle it is a decreasing curve. The capacitor is now linearly changed and produces a positive going ramp output. That means capacitance is a changes, and then whatever the output is producing, that is a goes on the positive going ramp output like this. That means increasing and decreasing like this curve. Just see here waveform as a, for the positive wave cycle it is a from starting from negative to positive. For that this is just see here is a positive going cycle, and apart from that this is a rising period, this is discharging period, along with that falling period, rising period, falling period, like this. This capacitor will be charges and discharges properly along with that ramp generator, and just we are getting here as a ramp signal. Just see here, this is a waveform related to that ramp generator. Along with that, AC op-amp integrator is also involved, or also will play very important role. Just see, if the integrating amplifier is provided with a sine wave input whose frequency is varying, the integrator behaves like a low pass filter. That means integrator will passes the low frequency signal and will blocks higher frequency signal, which produces only a low frequency signal at the output. All the high frequency signal components are blocked or attenuated. Along with that, at a 0 Hz, the feedback capacitor behaves like an open circuit. So there is no feedback from the output to the inverting input of the op-amp. Now the circuit behaves like an open loop inverting amplifier with a very high gain. That means circuit behaves like an open loop gain. That means there is no any kind of a feedback applied towards that circuit. Along with that, this will result in the saturation of the output voltage. That means output voltage goes on to saturation stage, that is either positive saturation or negative saturation. As the input frequency increases, the capacitor gets charged at the higher frequencies. The capacitor acts like a short circuit. Along with this, an op-amp integrator with a DC gain control. What it rules? To avoid the saturation of the output voltage and to provide the gain control, a resistor with a high value of resistance can be added in a parallel with the feedback of capacitor. That is a feedback capacitor here mentioned as a CF. Along with this, the closed loop gain of the integrator will be R2 divided by R1. That is a RF divided by R1. This gain is related to inverting terminal of the op-amp, along with that minus sign, just like a normal integrating inverting amplifier. Just see here is a R2 is connected across parallel with the that feedback capacitor, that is the only change done by in comparison with initial level integrator and this type of a integrator. AC input is given to that inverting terminal of the op amp, and output we are getting here. What is that equations terminology as a output? Just see here. Consequently, at a low frequencies of an input signal, the circuit behaves normally like an integrator. That means consequently frequency, whenever the frequency is at a low condition, that circuit behaves like a normal integrator. But whenever that frequency goes on in a higher condition, just see what happened. At a high frequencies, the capacitor acts as a short circuit and bypasses the resistor R2. The capacitor's reactance in turns reduces the gain of amplifier. Along with that, how that characterization or how that curve behaves related to that integrator, just see here. Here the gain is represented on the y-axis and frequency is represented on the x-axis. Then what is the output here introduced? This is the open loop gain. Along with that open loop gain, what is that gain? Minus RF divided by R1. Instead of RF, we are connecting there as a R2. For that purpose, here considered as a R2 divided by R1, and that negative sign is related to inverting integrator. For that purpose, here negative sign is came into picture. If suppose instead of that input is connected to inverting terminal of the op amp, if we are connecting that AC or DC input to non-inverting terminal of the op amp, then what is the gain of that non-inverting terminal of the op amp? The gain of non-inverting terminal of the op amp is given by the formula 1 plus R2 divided by R1. Like this, whenever we are going to use what type of a input terminal, depending upon that gain will be varies, either inverting or non-inverting. And there is a minus 20 dB per decade is it done here. Just see the curve. Some sort of the distances, the output open loop gain is in constant proportionality, and apart from that some specific level it goes on in decreasing stages. Along with this, what that AC and DC comparison, just see the frequency response of an AC integrator amplifier with a DC gain control is as shown in the figure above. Just we have seen at the lower frequencies of the input, the capacitor remains unchanged and act as an open circuit. That means just I have told that for the open circuit that capacitor remains unchanged, there is no any kind of a change related to that capacitor. And what it performs, this results in the gain of R2 divided by R1, that is a RF divided by R1. Instead of RF we are connected that a R2 related to feedback resistance. For that purpose here we have taken that a R2. As the input signal frequency increases, the feedback capacitor gets charged and acts almost like short circuit, bypassing the feedback resistor R2. This results in the gain decreasing linearly at the rate of 20 dB per decade. And how we are going to convert that gain into dB? Gain into dB is converted by using the formula related to power, related to voltage. That is a 20 log to the base 10 and a 10 log to the base 10. 10 log to the base 10 is related to power, and 20 log to the base 10 is related to voltage terminology. Along with this, there are some applications related to that integrator. We are commonly using that. Just see here I have taken some applications related to that. Op amp integrating amplifier are used to perform calculus operations in analog computers. That means analog computers, we are using that op amp because op amp name itself indicates that it is used to perform mathematical operations. Operational amplifier, short form is a op amp. Then integrating circuits are most commonly used in analog to digital converters. That is, it is also used to A to D converter. That is an analog to digital converter to convert that ramp generator, and also in a wave shaping application. It is also used for the wave shaping application. Depending upon that capacitor charging and discharging period, that wave will be shaped. And it is totally dependent upon that also time parameter, that is 0 to t time integration parameter. Another application would be to integrate a signal representing water flow, producing a signal representing the total quantity of a water that has passed by the flow meter. That means for the flow meter measurement, whatever the water level quantity is present at that flow meter for the indication purpose. There also we are going to use that integrator. This application of an integrator is sometimes called as a totalizer in the industrial instrumentation trade. These are some applications here I have taken, but there are many more applications in our daily day-to-day life where we are going to use that op-amp integrator. And this is all about that op-amp integrator. I hope you understood very well. Thank you.